Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Allegheny Health Network Nightly Sports Call.
Thank you very much, Ken, and welcome everybody to the Allegheny Health Network Nightly Sports Call. I'm Josh Taylor, in tonight for Bob Pompiani. He has the night off, and quite a bit to get to. But before we talk about the Penguins in Game 5, I got to give you a little update in case you weren't paying attention. Moments before we went on the air, the Pirates, having a 6-2 lead going into the ninth inning, have blown that lead. It is now 6-6 going into the 10th. And Tony Watson has blown yet another save. Back-to-back nights, his 5th blown save of the season. We will get to that in a few moments. I want to get to the Penguins, though, first, because we could talk hours about what's wrong with the Pirates. Let's get to the Penguins here. Joining me in studio to do that from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette 93.7 The Fan is Ron Cook. Ron, Game 5 tomorrow night, Pens and Predators. The prevailing theme from the locker room, it seems like they were satisfied with the performance in Game 4, probably not with the results. They didn't get the results they wanted. They had breakaway chances. They had maybe a good chance on the power play. It just didn't go that way. Pekka Rinne had a strong game in Game 4. What do you see as far as maybe what the Penguins expect to perform as in Game 5? What are you seeing out of Nashville?
Well, I mean, I expect the Penguins to win tomorrow night. I'm starting to think this could be a home-and-home series here, that it could go Game 7 very easily. I thought the Penguins played better in the third period, the second half of the second period in Game 4. I was down in Nashville. I don't think Matt Murray played very well early, played well late after the fact. You can't fall behind 3-1 like that. They had more scoring chances the other night against Rinne than they had in the first 3 games probably combined, and he was terrific. So to me, it's a goaltending series. The first 2 games, Murray was a lot better than Rinne. Rinne was awful. The last 2, Rinne was a lot better than Murray. Murray wasn't awful, but he wasn't good enough. So I'm kind of one of those guys who would like to see him go back to Fleury tomorrow. I know it's not going to happen. I still like the Penguins at home tomorrow, and we'll see if they win, and then they can wrap it up in 6. But now I'm starting to think maybe it's going to go 7.
To your point, I literally just said this a few minutes ago on the KDKA Facebook Live. If you're going to make the switch from Matt Murray to Marc-Andre Fleury, now's the time you do it.
It's got to be now.
It's got to be now. If for no other reason than because when you made that move in the Ottawa series to go from Fleury to Murray, you did it for the sake of wanting to shake things up and trying to give this team a shot in the arm. And it may not even as much as reflected on the goaltenders. If that's the case, then that's probably the same reason you make that move. And if you do it, you make it now.
Well, Fleury's numbers are so much better at home than they are. I want to play him 2-2 at home rather than maybe down 3-2 on the road in Game 6. Matt Murray is Sullivan's guy, and I have no problem with that. If I'm Mike Sullivan, Matt Murray's probably my guy too. He won me a cup last year. But I would go back to Fleury. I don't think that's going to happen. But no matter what now, if I stick with Murray tomorrow, unless he's absolutely abysmal, I'll probably go with him the rest of the way.
Meanwhile, Mike Sullivan had a pretty good quote about it after Game 4. He said, goaltending didn't lose this game for them. When you score 2 goals in 2 games,
goaltending didn't win it for him either.
It didn't win it for him, but when you score 2 goals in 2 games, you're probably going to lose both games. You're more than likely.
They got to find ways to beat Rinne. I like to think they will at home because he was so bad here in the first 2 games. He got benched in Game 2. I like their chances at home to score a few goals. Yeah, I could see a 4-2 win tomorrow night very easily.
During practice this morning, they changed the line rushes. Jake Gensel and Connor Sheary back on the same line with Sidney Crosby. We saw that a year ago. How do you feel about that? Do you think it's something that actually does make much of a difference, or is it really just trying to shift things around?
I thought Crosby was outstanding the other night. I thought it might have been his best game. Had the goal, had a couple other chances, set up a couple. They need to get Malkin going. I don't think he was very good down in Nashville, those 2 games. Kessel has not been good for a number of games. These are 2 of your 3 stars. You got to figure out how to get them going. Sullivan likes to usually mix them up on the different lines. That's why he dropped Kessel to the 3rd line. I guess now Kessel was with Malkin today, but none of this stuff is etched in stone. We'll see how it plays out.
I thought Kessel had opportunities in Game 4. He had a lot of shots. A lot of them weren't really accurate. He had a few chances, but we haven't seen much of anything from Evgeny Malkin.
He's got to score. That's Malkin has got. I mean, Kessel has got to score. Malkin, I can't knock him. He still leads the league in play. Points points in these playoffs. I can't knock him for that, but he had 2 quiet games, and he didn't even attempt a shot in Game 3. Not only not get it on net, didn't have any block, didn't miss any, he didn't try one. How does that happen?
That looks really,
I don't get it.
Really bad, especially when he's one of the guys who's supposed to be the guy who pushes, who at least pushes the machine forward, and he's not contributing. It makes it a lot more difficult. We will take a break here. We come back. We'll take your phone calls. 412-575-2600 is the number. We'll also take your tweets at Josh Taylor HD. Hopefully the computer's working so we can make that work. But in the meantime, we'll do that when we come back. Stick around.